Good morning everyone. In this video I'm going to analyze the live price action for EU and DXY to see what opportunities we may have today. You're going to see my strategy and my analysis, so if you're interested in those then please stick around. Right, we're going to start off here on the daily. We have EU on the top, DXY on the bottom, but I just want to start with firstly apologies for the audio sound. It might sound a bit lower today because my microphone for some reason has stopped working. So we'll see how well my phone picks up this voice. So I'll have to speak a bit louder, so apologies. So we're here on the daily, right? Let's see what would our daily bias be. So if we're looking at the EU price action for now, just wanted to point out, like I've been saying for previous weeks, that this move here, this bullish leg trade here, looked like a market structure break, okay? And we pulled back, found some support, and now we've gone bullish from there. So it looks like this was a true market structure break. We have a bullish leg, pull back to discount, now continuation of bullish price action. You will already see we've closed above this internal high here, which is where, say, the bullish price action was in doubt. We could have maybe continued lower, right? But we didn't. We found support again, so we've broken above internal 4-hour, 1-hour highs, right? And we had a nice bullish week last week. Okay, so we've closed well above that. And for me, this daily target here, buy side liquidity of this swing high, right? That bullish leg high, which is where price would be drawn to. So for me, the daily is bullish, right? The draw on price is bullish overall. So that is exactly the liquidity we should be heading for, in my opinion. Okay, so this here is showing discount and premium, right? So we've got our premium buy side liquidity target. So let's talk about the journey a bit for price to have gone that way, right? Because I had mentioned these in my previous videos. We left this imbalance here, price broke through it. So what I wanted to see was price turn that imbalance, right, that fair value gap into an inverted fair value gap, which it did, spiked right back into it, used it as support, and price continued bullish, right? So that gave us that bullish week. Now, as for today, day trading today, we do have an imbalance fair value gap below. So this is my daily target. I believe the daily is bullish. However, it doesn't mean we're going to go straight for this daily target. We do have a draw on price below, which is this fair value gap here. So as we did here, price may be drawn down towards this and mitigate this first. We'll see what happens, right? We're obviously going to be within some bullish legs on the lower time frame. We'll have to see what the lower time frame looks like. So for today's bias, I'm bullish, right? But also aware we may get some counter trend move down to this area here. If we look at DXY, it's done the same. Of course, we've now made that lower low here, closing below these lows. We do have some SMC divergence, right? And DXY has taken some more sell side liquidity than we have buy side liquidity at the moment. So possible pullbacks. So with all that said, I hope that was clear. Any questions, let me know in the comments. But we have a draw on price below that we may need to mitigate before going for our bullish target. But I'm bullish and we have a target up here. So on to that 4-hour price action now. We get to that daily price action in more detail. You can see the 4-hour is clearly in bullish order flow now. Right, we had our bearish legs, right? We made a high, high, low, and then we've gone on to make our higher highs, right? You can see the mini structures in between that as well. You can see where we swept liquidity here. SMC divergence came into the market. DXY swept buy side liquidity, continued going bearish, right? Sell side liquidity continued going bullish. Okay, obviously this slightly pink zone here is that daily fair value gap that we may pull back to. The 4-hour looks completely mitigated around these zones. We have an order block here, but there's no fair value gap, and we are in the premium in my opinion. So if I just move this out slightly so you can see, right, I'm counting from this low here where we swept liquidity, strong low, mitigated just about a 4-hour order block with SMC, and went on to make a new higher high, right, above these internal highs here. So I'd count the low from here, high to here. We're still in the premium. So on the 4-hour, I do see the discount POIs down here, right? So we have this order block here, which you can see I've got plus of there. And it also happens to sit where that daily fair value gap is. So if we pull back down to this area, we do have confluences building up for this area to act as support, possibly to look for longs, right? So this morning you can see we're starting to move bearish. We are starting to have a pullback. We are in a premium of our 4-hour and daily legs, right? So it's normal to have a pullback. Like I said, we've taken sell side liquidity on DXY as well. Plenty of buy side liquidity on the way here as well from this high. So we're due a pullback. We are in an order block here. This was a strong high, but now we've broken market structure. This becomes our buy side liquidity target. So I'm not afraid to trade into these POIs here. So I hope that's clear. That's just the daily in more detail. You can see now how we're stacking those confluences, the order block in the area where the daily fair value gap is, and also it's in the discount of that 4-hour leg. Okay, so we'll see what the 1 hour is saying. We'll see if there's going to be any other places or more confluences to build around that zone here. So let's go down to the 1 hour and see what that looks like. So we're on the 1 hour, and as price is fractal, we're going to have many zones that are within the 1 hour and the 4 hour that we need to pay attention to, okay, that are slightly different. So now we're on the 1 hour. Look, you can see high highs, high lows, high highs, high lows, high highs, right? We've got our legs. Okay, so this was that 4-hour leg from this low, swept liquidity, mitigated all these 1 hour order blocks, right? And imbalances, made the high high. Okay, we had some news here, so it made a double sweep of these lows here into these order blocks to the left as well here. All right, but that aside, into more recent price action, we have that 4-hour leg, but within that leg, we have a 1 hour leg. So I'm counting from this low here that swept internal liquidity, mitigated an order block, mitigated a fair value gap. Let me zoom in because it might not be as clear. This is the leg I believe we're working with on the hourly. My hourly bullish leg, this is discount. This is the premium. All right, so the dangers of this at the moment are we've got that daily fair value gap, 4-hour order block as well. Okay, we've also got a 1 hour, this here, imbalance. So if price does pull to this area, very strong zone with loads of confluences built up now, 1 hour order block here as well, right? Imbalance, like I said, discount of the 4-hour leg, all of those confluences built up. So this may be a draw on price. This may be an area that would be a good confluence to trade long going forward. Okay, obviously we mitigated this imbalance here above on our way up on the hourly. Pulled up, pulled back a little bit, mitigated the 50%, just over 50-60% of this fair value gap, and then price went on its way. What I believe has formed this morning looks perfect for a bullish price action on the hourly, right? If we use our hourly bullish leg here, we mitigated a order block here, a imbalance here, and slightly into this imbalance as well. So we've got order block here. CE just means middle of the imbalance, right? So don't worry about that too much. It just means 50% of the imbalance. Okay, so we mitigated 50% of the imbalance, the order block. Price has gone on to make that high. Now what I have pointed out here, price made its moves overnight, right? Low, higher low, right? So we created sell side liquidity sitting just above our new POIs. So we've got this MT, which also just means 50% of this order block handle. We've got CE, which means 50% of this fair value gap, and we have the order block itself, obviously, which is there. So price has now pulled into this high confluence zone here. We do have a 1 hour order block below all of those as well, so it could come that far if price needs to, but we'll see if it will. It's now taken out this sell side liquidity to use as an inducement, right, to possibly sponsor a move higher. So bullish leg, inducement, corrective pullback, because remember we didn't sweep liquidity from this previous daily high to come down, so these aren't strong highs, right? So these are good targets of liquidity. Prices come down into our POI, into the discount below equilibrium 0.5, and we're waiting for support to come into the market here. If it doesn't, price may want to head lower to this point here, so we can be patient for that if we want to go with trend, right? I wouldn't short personally with all of these confluence factors, right? So even though a further pullback may be on the cards, I want to see us invalidate this area here before I look for any shorts. So I won't be doing that. It's also a US bank holiday today. So if there is any move to go long, I want it to happen now in London. We may leave this pull behind, this liquidity imbalance behind for a later date. It may be after we take this zone. We'll see what happens there. Right, so I'm waiting eagerly to see how this candle closes and what happens on a lower time frame from this zone here to get long. So with my bias long, targeting these highs here, right, with our daily target just above there. Okay, so I'm looking to get in from this zone here. I'm looking for these confluences to hold and market structure to shift on the lower time frames on the M15, on the M5 to go long, right, from this discount. We have similar on DXY, which helps us. We have a 1 hour order block here, big fair value gap here, waiting for price maybe to push up further into the order block. It may or may not. It's gone above this high here as well for buy side liquidity, right? It created the same form of structure. So we can then target previous daily lows and these internal lows here. So I hope that's clear. Any questions, again, just let me know in the comments. But I really do like this bullish daily bias that's happening, and I do like this area of confluence here, as long as it's respected. So let's go down to the M15. Let's see what a trade for this morning may look like. All right, so now we've mitigated this zone here. I've just changed it to an X to show that the liquidity is taken, right? It's below Asia lows as well, below the NY daily open, and we're in discount with all these higher time frame 1 hour POIs here. And we have M15 fair value gaps to bring our attention to that price may want to mitigate, okay, which it's currently doing now, right? So it's a good confluence area even on the M15. So what will I want to see come out of this zone here to trade, right? As usual, I want to see price create some sort of path like this. Whether it comes down and sweeps liquidity again, I don't know, below these lows. It doesn't have to, right? We've taken plenty of sell side liquidity. We're into an order block already on the hourly, right? We've got fair value gap on the hourly and the M15. Then I just want to see a sharp price action that breaks above the internal high, whether this be on the M5 or the M15, if it creates one, and then price to pull down to our order block with imbalance, fair value gap preferably, right? That created this sharp move here to trade back up into the premium, targeting these highs here, these weak highs that have been created all the way up to the previous daily high. Order block down here, possible internal sweep again before we make that move, break of structure around here, corrective pullback possibly towards our entry around there, right, which gives us an inducement, and then we can go long, stop loss just below that low, of course, aiming towards these highs, Asia highs, wherever you want. There's plenty of targets within there, right, safe targets as well, close by targets even for 3% just at the current London highs. Okay, so that depends on how this forms, of course. We could have this break a bit higher up here because we could be breaking this high. So I'm prepared for that. I think these longs look good. If these candles start closing out, rejecting these as low test candles, everything's going to look really good. So I hope that was clear. I hope you got value from that. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.